So, part of our series where I'm trying to do different rices. I'll cook a rice which is actually very famous in Pakistan, especially, but certain parts of India also, called biryani. I'm not a big fan of it myself, but it's huge. And sometimes I just find it difficult to understand why it is. But even in my family, there are people who really love it. For me, pilau, which you would have already seen one of the episodes, I prefer that better than this. But this is done very differently. So today we'll do biryani with chicken. You can do it with beef. You can do it with lamb, goat, whatever you want. You can even make a vegetarian version of it because all you have to do is follow the same steps, but don't use meat. The only meat is whatever you put in. Biryani is a two-step process. Uh, you cook the chicken separately. You boil the rice separately. Um, and at a point, what you do is you start doing the layers, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, biryani does go and have a lot of different spices. What I'm about to use: cardamom, cloves, regular green ones, mint, turmeric, hot pepper, zira, which is cumin, again a different kind of hot pepper, another different kind of hot pepper, and then black cardamom and cinnamon. On my dry ones, or sorry, those were my dry ones. So on my wet ones, I have a tomato, an onion, lime, fresh mint, ginger, and garlic. Salt always. One of the other things, I have already put saffron in water, so that's one. The one which brings the flavor together is a plum. It's a dry plum. You cannot use fresh plum because it would not give the flavor. The dry plums, which typically come from the northern part of Pakistan or Uzbekistan also, you have to soak it 24 hours upfront. Uh, what happens with that is it brings a different flavor. So the combination of the plum, the dry plum in water, and a lime or lemon, you can use one or the other. I also have yogurt sitting over here. So I'll show you what I do. Surely I have rice, oil. This is where we start. So let's start with ginger. So let me go and chop everything, and then I'll show you everything after that. So I've got water boiling over here. The water has to be boiling before you do anything. In this container, I already have a bit of oil. You can use any kind of an oil. And now, one thing about chicken, it's roughly a pound of chicken. You don't need too much. Cut into small pieces. Take the skin off. This is not kind of dish that you want the skin in. The water going on over here, I'll put some cloves. Not too many, 6-ish. Just, I like the smell of clove. It brings something different. Now, the rice, basmati, I always use. And specifically from Pakistan, I just have a bias towards it. Um, the water is almost boiling. Actually, it's not there yet. So I can start this now. Okay, I can feel this is hot. I lowered the heat. I know one of my tomatoes went down there. Okay. So you can hear the tomato sizzling. I'll use all the liquid. The water is boiling now. We've already discussed in one of our other videos. Let me put a lid on it so at least you can hear me. I'll use 1.5 of this cup. This is not a cup, it's roughly a cup mug. But by the time we're done, 1.5 really means 2 cups of rice. So let me do that. The amount of water does not make a difference because the water will be thrown out. We will boil the rice for roughly 5 to 7 minutes, depending how it looks. So the first one, and roughly half. So this is what you'll call 2 cups of rice. We already know we're using almost a pound of chicken. This is starting. I'll let that boil. So what I've done already, I've cut everything: onion, garlic, ginger, lime cut, and then you can see roughly chopped is my mint. Throw that in here in my yogurt. Spoon to two. Does not make too much of a difference how much it is. Most people do not use yogurt this way. They go straight with mint. I'm doing a bit differently. Then I'll use a bit of dried mint also, because the mint I have, even though fresh, I just I'm not happy with how it smells. So a bit of that, I'll mix this and I'll put it on side. Okay, now this sits on the side. As I said, typically what you have seen me doing, I don't use these many spices. Today we are about to use a lot of spices. And if you've seen me cooking, I always work with my smells compared to other things. Okay. Surely you can't see the tomato, even if I try to show it to you. All it has done, it has browned a bit. At this point in time, I'll put the chicken, because what I want to do is fry that chicken in the amount of oil I have. The chicken to start binding. So this is a curry. Actually, for that matter, you can just make this as a curry. I use a different word I call salan, which is an Urdu word. The word curry, I find that a bit misleading, because curry has to the world has been shown differently. What you call curry, a curry leaf, or then you can go into how Thai curries are, how Malaysian or Indonesian curries. So curry is a bit misleading. I'll use the word salan, which is really cooking meat to the point what I'm about to do. I'm waiting for the chicken for the color to change to white. I can already see my rice. I have a strainer over here. Since these two things will come together, typically I don't mix spoons. In this case, I will. This has been going for a few minutes. Yep. I'll switch the heat off over here. Okay, so my chicken has become white now compared to the flesh chicken color. At this point in time, I'll put the ginger and the garlic. I'll leave some for the end. And as this cooks, I'll take my rice and I'll run it through cold water. As the cold water runs through the rice, what I want is for the rice to stop cooking. The chicken is coming together. This is where I'll put the onion. Again, I'll leave some for the top. Start the cumin. I just love the flavor of cumin. So many things which don't even call for cumin, I'll just use it. It's just my habit. Regular hot red pepper. Flakes, red pepper. They're not too spicy, but they just give a different color. A little bit of that. This is paprika. Mix it together. Some tomato paste. Again, for some color, put that in. Next, little turmeric. And the regular green cardamom. I'll just use one, probably two. Don't need too much. Then black cardamom, I'll use one, and then some cinnamon. As it's cooking, it has cooked enough, and I need to put some water. So from here, I'll let it cook, and then the rice is already ready. What we'll do layering, and I'll show you how that's done. The curry, or what I keep on calling salan, is done. Do remember one thing: there was no salt in the rice. So when you make curry like this, compared to, because this is the same dish you can make without the rice. I did add a bit extra salt because eventually it comes handy. Now the layering part. That's the most important part. Get a spoon. I have this one already on heat, and my reasoning is by the time I put rice, which is already cold, it should work out properly. I'm not about to put everything, I'm about to do a layer. So a bit of chicken, the rice which I boiled. Yes, my hands are washed. Put a layer of it, not too much, bit of layer. The ingredients I kept, I'll add these now because surely the same ingredients have been cooked over there. Again, I have a, here, let me show you. I have a layer of chicken, the curry, and then a bit of rice. So this is where we are. Now I'll do another layer of chicken. Now again, a bit of rice. Everything comes together properly. Again, a layer is happening. It's not done yet. Now I'll put the rest of the rice. And as I put rice, now my other flavors have to happen now. So the plum, I'll just put on top. The liquid from the plum, I'll go around so I can get flavor everywhere. Before I put saffron or anything else, I will do the lime. This is my habit. You don't have to do this way. All this thing that when you bring through this, oh, it's everywhere now. The way I did my curry, I do think that there's a bit too much water. So what you can do is, if you have too much water, go heat higher. That said, my saffron, again, go around. That's done. My yogurt, I'll wait right now. I didn't have to or didn't need to. The reason is I've got a bit too much water. So the biryani is cooking right now, and see how dry it is. Before I put my yogurt in it, I wanted it to be drier than what it is right now. And see all the colors. Colors are happening from all the tomatoes, tomato paste, and spices I put. So let me put the yogurt now, and from there I'll close the lid. Let's sit on a simmer for 4 or 5 minutes, and that's it. So the rice is getting dry. This is where the mint, the dry and the fresh mint, I'll put on top. At this point, if you do like your biryani spicy, you can put fresh chilies also. Just cut them and put it there. I would not try to do too much to it. Cover it. Let it sit for 5 or 7 minutes. The heat is on low right now. Nope, wrong lid. So let it sit for a few minutes, and after that I'll open it and we'll see. So the rice is done. Let it sit for a good 10 minutes after it's cooked. And you'll see that the yogurt still looks wet, and that's what you need. If I mix it, now let's do a taste test in a minute or so, because I want this rice to be a bit cooler. So that's how the rice looks. It has a lot of color. It does look spicy because some red color is taken spicy. Let's do a taste test. It's a bit hot, and you've seen me always start eating when the food is still a bit too warm. Actually, putting that yogurt on top made it moist enough that you don't feel the dryness of biryani, which I typically don't like. This is a recipe how to make biryani. It's simple. Don't overcomplicate it. The amount of spices I use, I did. Don't have to. Try doing it. Try making it. Do use basmati rice, and I hope you can do it. Any questions? Put in the comment box. We'll talk again. Enjoy and subscribe and like our channel. Thank you so much.